Does that remote control thing allow you to shut it off as well?
No, it's just a read-only.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh, that's interesting. So, is it because they have such a hard time getting to all the meters? Or can you now just drive by in a car?
Well,
because that's probably what it's going to be.
We're using them to basically maintain our infrastructure.
Uh-huh.
And that's just the way that they see the current trend being, including that type of technology.
So I was thinking it must be because then you could just drive by in a car and you don't have to send guys out on foot all over.
Theoretically, you could.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Because I'm sure that's very labor intensive, right?
Our meter reading unit is like a small army.
Yeah. Yeah. So to all these different, can you tell the era of that by the kind of stamping that's on it and the design?
Well, before my time, first of all.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's actually a quality product.
Do the new ones look like this, or now do they look?
They look like metal, just bare metal with like a texture coating on it. Okay, I'm just gonna go for this here.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
I don't have any water on.
Okay.
Ooh, there's a big black widow in there right under the cap.
Okay.
Yeah. I bet you see how many a day of those?
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day, every meter.
Yeah.
Do you know if you have a shutoff valve at the house?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Mind if I go up there and take a look at it?
No.
Okay. Where's it at?
You go up, go across the deck. Here, I'll show it to you.
That'll just keep the water that's up there.
Yeah. Sure, I'll do it.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, I had a... shit.
Give it that.
There it is.
Okay, thank you.
I had a plumber install all that crap when I moved back in. Well, I'm going to research that well idea. I'm sure the city won't allow it, but you know, I figure I could put one in clandestinely, they'd never fucking know. You know?
Yeah, try it.
I mean,
if you're talking about for irrigation purpose,
yeah.
then you're not running that kind of health risk so much
Right.
if you were doing it for yourself.
Right.
Because there's a lot of stuff in the ground.
Because another thing that I've recently been getting notices on is because I'm a certified California farmer, I'm getting notices from South Coast Water Quality Board, something like that.
Okay.
About agricultural runoff, which I guess I have to be certified for in some way, and I don't even know what the hell that even means.
Well, there are things that are going to go into the ground that
Right.
are going to affect something else.
Yeah, I'm just hyper organic in my farming techniques, so I'm curious to see. I guess you have to provide a description of what you used and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know much about it. Let's put it this way, I haven't responded.
I remember one time I was looking, I've always kind of like come to this one intersection and I've seen like a vacant lot.
Uh-huh.
And one day there was a new guy there.
Uh-huh.
And he was planting his little crops, and he basically was squatting.
Right.
And I go, wow, check that out, He came to, I would say, America.
Right.
And he thought he was just making his little claim.
Hey, there's a whole tradition here in Lincoln Heights of Chinese front yard farmers. You see them all around.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get somebody like the LA Times to do an article on them because they're fascinating to me. I just came up with a statistic last week, actually, that in LA, if we returned everyone's front yards and backyards, pulled the lawns out to farm it, we would have the equivalent of 164,000 acre farm in Los Angeles County alone. And it would be the equivalent of a 22 square mile farm. And Southern California was the largest agricultural county in the 40s in America, and it's one of the 5 best geographies to grow food in the world. So that's part of my thing, is trying to get people to reconnect to what's available in this place. I'll survive every earthquake. Let's put it that way. Because there's always something in the ground.
I was watching the show last night. It was on the Travel Channel, and they were in Spain. And one of the traditions that's going by the wayside is walking the sheep across the country. And they said these sheep.
Yeah, that's a whole thing.
Clean up the crops,
right?
And fields,
brush protection, all kinds of stuff.
Also consume the grasses and herbs
right.
along the way, so that their meat will be enhanced.
Right. More flavorful.
Yeah.
Right.
And they also fertilize the land.
Sure.
And because they're not doing it anymore, they use trucks.
Right.
The landscape is changing.
It's changing it.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
Hello.
Hi, Dix. Hi, Dixie. What? What are you doing?
Morning.
What are you doing?
Hi. Oh, yeah.
What are you doing, Dix?
Thank you.
She's the itinerant farm dog. She's the inadvertent farm dog and the chief gopher catcher. Well, it certainly fits, doesn't it?
Almost.
What's the pressure that comes in, water comes in at?
It varies throughout the city.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. It was just up around the corner around Johnston.
Right.
And it's at a higher elevation than you are.
Right.
And it was about 70.
Normally, isn't it like 60?
Well, like I said, it varies.
Right.
Because it could be lower than that.
Right.
It could be much higher.
Right. Oh, really?
Yeah, it depends on the elevation of the source on that system.
Huh. How many of these are you doing a day?
That varies depending on the nature of the calls that come in. Because I'm asked to do
other things?
Other things, yeah.
Right. And do you work for DWP or are you an independent contractor?
No, I'm DWP.
Yeah. That's a good gig, huh?
Yeah, it is.
I used to have a friend who worked in the environmental, he was the head of the environmental program. Boy, DWP is its own entity, dude. Its own secret. It's like a secret society. It is.
Yeah, I have my
it's funding
my cloak in the back of the truck.
Its funding and everything cannot be touched by anybody, including the city council, the board of supervisors, anybody. It's an interesting organization, the way it was set up. Remember when that guy with the cowboy hat was head of it? Because I read a long article on him, and he's a really interesting guy. just about how DWP was set up originally and why it was set up a certain way to not be able to be influenced by the politics of the city. But you guys are rich. You guys got more money than any entity going. Yeah? Good, how you doing? What do you want to talk to me about? No. No. Who's that? My door's closed, huh? Make sure my door's closed. Don't need more summons from anybody. Nobody named Reed lives here, dude.
Okay, Camryon?
Nope.
This is 220.
Who are you?
I'm from the mortgage company.
What mortgage company?
Wachovia. Is this your dog?
Nope.
Oh. See here?
Yeah. What are you doing?
I do this every month. I come out and I take pictures of the property, send it back to them.
Take pictures? Yeah. I'm taking pictures, you can take pictures. That guy died, didn't he?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I think he did.
I hadn't heard about that.
I think I read it in the obits. Yeah?
Ooh. I'll have to ask when I go back.
Yeah. He's a really interesting character. Wasn't he involved in the Colorado River kind of debates?
Well, I would imagine any upper representative from the department would have
Well, I
to
think
be
that's where
involved
he came from. I think he actually came from Colorado, where he was he had negotiated something. Maybe it was he had negotiated the rights for Arizona or Colorado in terms of the river water, which I thought was interesting. Well, imagine the politics of that.
debating the rights of somebody to have the water.
Well, can you imagine how intense those goddamn negotiations are?
Oh yeah.
I mean, hardcore, yeah? I'd love to sit in on those, yeah? What was that guy taking pictures of?
I wasn't really paying attention.
Huh, guess he wants me to improve the landscaping. Not very cooperative, that thing. That's a hell of a tool. Oh,
You like
wow,
that, huh?
really?
Yeah.
Wow, so but it's not ratcheted, right? But it's just the way you use it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's clever. That's really clever. Huh. Wonder how old those are.
I hadn't seen them until I started working here.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I bet you have some in-house tool designer down there with all that dough you guys got.
We got a lot of engineers there too.
You know, the funny thing is that, I mean, that's such a cool building, the main building downtown, but the thing that's so amazing is all those electric plug-in damn deals that they did for the electric cars, and I don't think there's one person that drives an electric car. They have the whole sea of them, yeah? Have you ever seen that downtown?
I haven't really paid too much attention to that. I've seen a couple in our yard.
Well, when they started, when it was the whole move to do electric car things, DWP decided to invest heavily, and so they made this huge parking lot of all these electrical outlets to plug in your electric car. And like I said, there's probably none of them in the parking lot. So it's kind of like this ghost town of electric plug-ins. And I bet you that the new technologies, I bet you they'll have to change the whole thing out when and if anything electrical really happens, you know?
I know that they have some of the newer vehicles there.
Oh, the emission kinds of different
the newer
ones?
electric ones.
Yeah.
Nissan has this one called the Leaf.
Oh, really? Tesla just went out of business, I guess.
Oh no.
Yeah, they
well,
did.
They were kind of pricey.
Yeah, they just ate it. And it's funny, I met someone at the farmer's market a couple of weeks ago that worked for Tesla, and they just went down a couple of weeks ago.
You know, have you? Their factory is out there by San Jose.
Yeah.
You're just driving along and you see all the suburbia,
Right.
and all of a sudden,
Boom. Oh, really?
big car plant.
I don't think I've ever seen one of those cars on the road. Have you ever seen one
They're
on the
beautiful.
road? Are they?
Yeah.
A little bit. It's a little bit misbegotten, like DeLorean. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, high-end sports car, $250,000 electrical car. I don't know how big the market's going to be for that. You know.
Not for everybody, right?
Well, certainly not for me with my $430 Volvo.
Okay, everything's holding.
There you go. Now the plug and play part.
Yep. And you know, I guess we have people that are out putting in electric meters that have similar technology. So, as far as this is concerned, we're set.
How much is this program costing you guys? I bet those things are a pretty penny, yeah?
Yes.
Because they're not just mechanical ones anymore, they're combos, yeah?
I'm sorry, what was that thing you just
They're
said?
not just mechanical, they're now combinations, yeah?
Yeah, true.
We'll just say we live cutting edge of water experiences, yeah?
That should do it.
I'll have to write my farming friends around the country and say, look, this is what I'll show them this video and say, look, we're on the cutting edge. Our water's different. We have different water here. I was just up in the Owens Valley last week. I always find that fascinating too.
Never been up there.
Oh God, you got to go up just to see the aqueduct and just see how it gets down here and how we stole all their fucking water.
That's by Bishop, or is it past that?
Bishop and below, yeah. And we stole